Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Shamika with Dear Shamika, and I have Denisha with us to discuss pretty privilege and some of the advantages of being beautiful. So, in your words, what is pretty privilege to you?
Pretty privilege is basically like getting unexpected benefits that just randomly happens out of nowhere. So it's just basically, just being pretty and just getting those type of benefits that not a few other people won't receive.
Okay, so when you say benefits, what are benefits? What are some of the benefits you receive?
So most benefits come from the normal, like, hey, I'm just randomly, getting some food. So people would buy me food, or benefits like people would buy me drinks. Nothing that I'm expecting, because I would expect to, just pay for my own food and pay for my own drinks. But if I'm just sitting there waiting on my food, the other people would be like, oh, hey, have a conversation, and then those are the benefits that you get just by having a conversation, and then they end up buying you something.
Hmm. How often does this happen?
I would say that it pretty much happens every time that I go out. And I don't usually go out like that, but when I do go out, it happens. So it's pretty frequently.
What are some of the features like facial features or bodily features that people kind of key into that you would feel that give you those advantages over other people?
So whenever I think of myself as having a pretty privilege, I also want to think of things that you don't like. Facial features are pretty, right?
Mhm.
However, I want to think about other things that people are looking at whenever they're seeing me, and that has to be like my assets, my thighs,
I like
my
how you put that.
it's pretty big, and like I have a Coke bottle shaped body. So besides just having a pretty face, my body also matches that as well.
Mhm.
So I could just be casually walking down the street and I'm having multiple cars honk at me, turn around and try to open the window and like, hey, mom. And that's
That's how they
it's Memphis. So basically, it's more of not only pretty, but also my body as well. And that's what first catches their eye.
So do you feel if your face wasn't pretty, you would still have the advantages based on your shape?
I think that it would depend because most men they do like bodies, and sometimes they would call it like butter faces. So everything looks pretty
Oh
butter.
my God.
So those are the type of men that would still prey on women that has good shape and don't even care about how the face looks like. But it also does depend on a different group of men who, yo, she don't look good and her body looks like this. I don't think that I want to, talk to her. And I think it just depends on the group of men.
And also another question I have for you, when you let's say like when you do go out, do you wear form fitting clothing or do you wear clothing that shapes to your figure? And if you do ever wear loose fitting clothing, do you notice that the attention is different or is it pretty much the same?
So whenever I go out, I'm the type of woman that doesn't like clothes at all. So I do end up wearing form-fitting clothes. However, there are some times where I do wear loose-fitting clothing, and I receive the exact same reaction. And I'm thinking, like, man, I have this dress. It was one of those cocktail swing dresses on, and you could really see nothing. You can't even see, like, my butt. However, it's the same reaction that I get from men regardless. So I'm thinking that, besides my body at that time with loose fitting clothing, people are also looking at my face.
And also, as far as these men go, do you feel like because I see you are of a lighter complexion, um, do they ever comment on your complexion? Do you feel like you get more privilege based on your complexion, or do you feel like it's about the same as someone who was darker,
I
or
think,
is
I'm sorry, go.
darker? I'm sorry.
You're fine. I don't think that complexion falls into place. I think that it's just really based upon are you pretty and how do you look like when it comes to your shape. I think that any woman that looks just as pretty, if not prettier than me, and also have probably a better banging body than myself, I'm 100% sure that they're going to receive the same reaction, if not a little bit more than I do myself.
So as far as friendships, with the privilege you do receive, have you ever been in friendships where you feel because you get the attention you get because you are attractive, that some of the friendships kind of die off because of jealousy or that they're not getting the same attention as you? Or do you feel like, regardless of the attention you receive, women are still, nice to you?
I think that I don't really, let's just start with I don't have friendships with women. And I know
Why? Why don't you have friends?
I don't know what happened. I just know that I had friends whenever I went to high school, and after I left high school, I went away to an entirely different city. Here I am in Memphis. So I tried to, build relationships with some women, and I do have those that I am able to still bond with because they're not thinking of jealousy, and I'm not treating them as if I'm someone better than them. It's just we're all the same people, and I just genuinely want to have that type of friendship with you. However, there are the people that I have lost in the past that it just seems like maybe it's just I'm too good looking. I don't know, or they're just jealous. I don't really get it. But I just know that when it comes to them and the relationship that I had with them, it just kind of dissolved. And I just don't know. I don't know what happened. And it seems like a lot of women probably would talk to me, but eventually some women can't understand that, jealousy should not be a factor when it comes to relationships and friendships. And I find I find it difficult for me to find friendships that are, actually not dealing with, oh, well, I'm jealous. I'm jealous of her. She gets this, she gets that. It's hard to find relationships like that.
Can you give an example of a time where you were maybe out with one of your friends or former friends where you knew, man, this girl is jealous of me?
I don't think that I can recall anything of that nature. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think that anything happens in person. Everything mainly happens like through text messages when they just don't really reciprocate the same. So like I would generally bond with someone, and then whenever I get home, it just seems like our communication is just completely cut off. Like I would text her and see what she's doing, getting to know her, but her communication decreased like very large.
So was it once you guys went out, or was it just?
I think it definitely happened whenever we went out. It's just an example of I did go out with someone, and we had a great day. At least I thought so. So we went out to eat, we went out to shopping, and we were just enjoying this time's company. Then she ended up inviting one of her friends, and it was a girlfriend. So she came, and we were just talking, and they did spend a lot of time just getting to know me, and I was trying to reciprocate the same, and getting to know them and trying to push the topic off of myself, because I don't want to be the main topic of the day. I
Mhm.
would prefer to actually just, get to know you guys and understand, like, where can we go in our future relationship as friends. But basically, it did seem like they wanted to just know more about me, and everything that I told them, they're like, wow, it's like really cool. Like, just really enjoying my character. But I wasn't aware or didn't think that any of this would lead to any type of jealousy. I just know that I haven't heard from her, and it's been months now.
So you were cool before you guys went out, but once you went out, it was like,
After that, I haven't heard from her.
were you getting the privilege, like the guys buying drinks and food while you were out with them? Was
No,
it?
not at that time, but I was receiving like compliments with like my outfit.
Were they getting the same compliments?
No.
So do you feel like, because you seem to have high self-esteem, do you feel like your esteem comes from always getting compliments, or do you feel your esteem is just who you are? Like
I
that constant validation, do you feel like that kind of reinforces your high self-esteem?
I do like the attention, so that really
At
does.
least you keep it real.
I do. So with the attention, it really does. hype up my self-esteem. Although I wake up every morning to morning affirmations, just to make sure that I do have the true self-love and self-esteem, self-confidence that I need in myself, besides allowing that attention to just be the only thing depending on my self-esteem. So I'm really starting out with everything that comes from myself and how I feel about myself, and then everything like attention just simply comes with it.
Okay, so to someone who doesn't have the esteem you have, or that wants to foster meaningful friendships with people who they feel, oh, she's so pretty, she's so beautiful. What advice would you give to them on not being jealous or just being a good friend?
When it comes to jealousy, I don't think that any type of relationship is necessary. Just jealousy should not be a thing. And I know that it is a thing. That's just because, like, let's say that you have a relationship with a man, and your first instinct is to be jealous if he's texting another lady or liking another lady's post. Once when you have that ability to release jealousy from your inner being, everything else around you just sits where it needs to be. And that is once when I stopped being jealous, there was a lot of times where I would know who I am and what I can bring. And if that's what I bring to my relationships, and they realize that. So I noticed that every morning when I wake up and I'm looking in the mirror and I'm thinking like, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous. Like when I'm doing those affirmations, those 100% help, because after I started doing that for a couple of days, I started to feel more beautiful and look more beautiful to myself. And that generally is the start of that. So you just want to release all negative activities from you. That's jealousy included, because jealousy is just not necessary in life. You just got to live it. You just got to talk to people, and you just got to be friendly.
Mhm. And with your shape, is it genetics or is it something like you have to work out to get? Like, was this just something I've been like this my whole life, or is it genetics? I mean, or is it working out and we're eating right?
So I've been like this my whole life. It's genetics. However, it takes working out to keep it that way.
Uh huh.
So I grew up always, everyone came specifically from the football team in high school. Everybody in high school came to my volleyball games when it was a home game because they were watching me. I mean, my butt is, if not just a little bit bigger now, but they all came
What?
to
Stand up,
watch.
girl. Show them the shape. Scoot back some. Yes, girl. Yes, baby. This. Come on, shape.
So it's definitely something that you have to keep. And I ended
Wow,
up
you really do have a nice figure.
thank you. I did end up.
That's why. That's why they don't want to go out.
And I wish that it wasn't like that, truthfully, because
What you wish the shape didn't look like that, or you wish they didn't feel that way?
I wish that they didn't feel that way.
Right.
I really want friendships, but I feel like it's so hard for me to just stay with them because of their jealousy tendencies.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I
You
know
look
that.
amazing, of course.
Thank you.
I have to play devil's advocate. You were born this way. There are people who they may look average or they may have an okay figure. And then this beautiful girl with this amazing superhuman figure walks in the room. I'm getting no attention. So, like you said yourself, you like attention, and I'm sure they like attention, but you walk in, no attention.
Hmm.
So I think it's from a place of jealousy, but also it can make you insecure when you're friends with somebody who you really have to be secure within yourself to be friends with somebody who's got, it's one thing to be a beautiful girl in the face, but also a nice God given figure. So,
I like to hype people up, and I thought that that would encourage a lot of more friendships from other women. So let's say that we're in the middle of competing for something, and I know that I'm confident because I already walked in with affirmations in my head. I'm ready to go. But there's someone that looks, just as good as me, or I look just a little bit better, but her head is just like all over the place. How I try to build those relationships is starting out with, about themselves. Like, you got to love yourself, and you got to know that you can do this, because at the end of the day, it's only you that has yourself. It is you that has your heart. And so if you are not actually believing in yourself to win, then it's no reason for you to be here. I didn't come in, to worry about everybody else and what they got going on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how everyone should view things when it comes to, just whenever you're coming to do like some type of competition, you shouldn't go in there and worry about what everyone else got going on. It's all about yourself, and it's all about believing in yourself. But even just with that type of starting out with a relationship, but it still is just a little bit challenging to actually connect with other people.
Mm-hmm. So men and women, what would you say is the most, like, although you're beautiful and you attract men, how do you know when a man has your best interest at heart versus they're trying to use you for your assets?
It's how they approach me. It's definitely how it starts. It's the first impression. It really means something. And living in Memphis, well, I'm not really in Memphis, but I'm off the outskirts. But I was staying in Memphis. And basically, when you're walking and you hear a damn, they're not even looking at my face. They don't care about anything else. The only thing they're caring about is getting to me in this butt. And that's
and this, hey, you created, your butt is a totally different person than you.
Exactly. Ellen, you don't even know who I am. I could be psycho. You don't know that information.
They don't care.
And that's the problem. And that's how I know, for starters, when that man is not best interest of my heart. But when I do know that the man has the best interest of my heart, is how they treat me and how they go about things moving forward. So just in the type of relationship that I am now, I mean, he does a lot of pushing me to succeed and be successful in the things that I want to be successful in.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I know that I'm feeling like I'm falling, he's there for me. And it's really more that I just feel like my body is just a plus to our relationship is all.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just really depends on the type of first impression that a man gives you. That's how you know what type of man that would be moving forward.
Okay, so, and also because a lot of people's experiences are different, are you, like, when you are in relationships, do you feel like you're spoiled, or you may get more, some men say one and done, once you mess up like this, I'm done with her. Do you feel like because you're so attractive, it's like, well, she's doing XYZ and it's a red flag, but she's so pretty? You feel like you kind of get away with certain things because of how you look?
Yes. Yes.
You're just keeping it real.
I am. However, I also believe that more than just being pretty, I think that my loyalty shows a lot deeper than my pretty, a lot more deeper than my body. And that's why I'm still currently in the relationship that I am now. It's more than just my looks. If anything, I don't think that he cares. There's plenty of other women that look better than me that he can easily pull. However, I know that my mistakes that I have made in my relationship was all based upon my loyalty and where that stands, where my heart stands. And I'm thinking that just a little bit better than just my pretty privilege. But for other things that I did get away with, some men, they would be more than willing to be with me if I also had another man as well.
What do you mean?
Like a poly relationship?
Like if you had another man, they were cool with you having another man?
Yes.
Somebody actually expressed that to you?
It's really myself and how I am and how I go about things. I did have a couple of guys that I had previously on the side. However, they knew that I was with someone. And so I told them that, you may have a possibility to be a thing with us together. However, the guy that I am with, he doesn't like men, as in, sexually. So it's not going to work that way. However, me with this side guy, he was okay if he was willing to make it work.
So your boyfriend let you have a side dude?
Depends, yes. It depends. So
what do you mean it depends?
Well, he can't be no one who can't provide. You just can't be.
But they're cool with you having a dude on the side as long as he's the other dude is taking care of you as well? You gotta
Depends.
be kidding me.
It depends. Because he's not really when it comes to that, I don't think that whenever I express that, I wanted to have someone else, his original answer is no. Like, no, not at all. But if I wanted to have him, it would have to be in a certain way. However, everything just did not go right.
Mhm.
And so I ended up like, just losing all of the side guys that I was talking to.
How did you
Um,
lose them? Like, you cut them off, or
oh yeah, I cut him off.
so you didn't lose them, they lost you?
Yeah.
Has there ever been money on the table? Like, I will fly you out. Like, have you experienced those things as well? Like the extravagant type situations where whatever type of money you want, I want to fly you out. I want to spend money on you. Do you experience those things?
So because I'm so busy with work, I haven't had that opportunity to actually experience something like that.
Mhm.
However, there are people that do want to do that for me and they will do it in a heartbeat.
Oh,
Besides,
so you've had it put on the table. You just,
yeah, several times. I just don't have the opportunity to do that, especially within the working field that I'm in currently. I'm just always at work and, I really don't have time to take those trips outside of there. Other than that, I do have had people to go out about their way and to travel to see me in person.
mhm,
That does exist as well.
mhm. So with guys that already have girlfriends, are there men who are like, I would leave her for you? Like, are there people who are ready to just, like seriously leave the person they're with in pursuit of you? Like, have you ever had that happen? Like, where a person has broken up with somebody to try to pursue you or anything like that?
Nothing really comes up on the top of my head when it comes to that.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, nothing's coming up on the top of my head for that.
What's the most outrageous thing a guy has done because he felt like you were beautiful?
The most outrageous thing. You know what? Now that I think about it, um, I was flown to Houston, Texas.
Oh, so you were blown out.
I was. And I had to think about it because there's a lot of things that's been happening within the past couple of years. Um, and in my opinion, it was random. And I don't really recall much outrageous actions happening. However, flying me from Memphis to Texas is something that I didn't expect to happen.
Mhm.
So that did exist in the past.
When you flew out, what happened?
Well, we were in a hotel and we went out to eat. It was nice. It was nice.
Ah, he flew you out just to spend time with you?
Yeah, and it was my first flight as well.
Girl, and you are from Memphis.
No, not necessarily.
Oh,
Um,
where are you from?
I would say all over the place. I spent some time in Clarksville, um, some time in Missouri. However, I only moved to Memphis to go to college.
Mhm,
I graduated a couple of years ago.
mhm,
So I did take a trip over to New Jersey for some time last year.
mhm,
And now I'm back staying in Mississippi for now.
mhm, mhm. Wow. So you don't even have to, like, your selection, because of how you look, your selection of men, the pool is bigger.
Like with my selection,
Yeah, you have like certain women, their pool is small, but yours, because of how like your facial features and shape, it's like the pool is bigger. So you have more of a selection of men versus just, man, I have to settle. Do you feel like you've ever had to settle, or this is as good as it gets, or have you always dated like, oh, I can kind of pick and choose who I want?
so I do have that larger pool, but for myself, I would say that the pool is quite small, just depending on who I would select. I don't feel like I am in a position where I just have to settle. However, that's currently what I actually would love to do if that does become an opportunity.
Mhm.
I'm getting older. My birthday's tomorrow. So I don't want to, worry about, just finding that right one where
Mhm.
feeling that that's the kind of relationship that I got going on right now. So it's not that I have to like, oh, I feel like I should have to.
Oh no, when I say settle, it's like, dang, this is as good as it gets. You know, some women see you don't even know about what it means because you don't have to do it. But some women are like, this is as good as it gets. It's not gonna get better than him. I wish I could find a good guy. So you don't even have to go through the whole he's a bad guy, but I gotta get what I can.
Right. Because I mean, I know that there is other good guys out there. However, I know that what I have is where I want to settle for myself and not out of, just, oh, I don't think that there's anybody else better enough for me because there's plenty of men. I just don't think that it'll be the one that I'm with now.
What separates him from everyone else? So
Say
we
that.
can see what kind of men pretty privileged people get. What separates the man you're with now from the other men?
He's a man. And you might think like, what? But he's a man. And I've realized that we've been together for 5 years now.
Oh,
I
amazing.
realized that for a long time. It's just how he holds himself, how he moves. It's more like I know where he wants to go in life, and he doesn't want to settle for anything less than actually getting to his goals that he has. When it comes to the other guys that I previously had in the past, most of them just probably didn't know what they wanted. When they're with me, they do what they can not to lose me, but they're not doing anything to really provide for me, to guide me, to lead me, to actually have that powerful man aspect or behaviors inside of their character. And I'm thinking that basically who I have now, it's long term, in my opinion. It's long term. He knows what he wants and he's going to get that.
With him, does it boost his ego when you get so much attention, or does it kind of like is he does it make him jealous when you get attention from other men when you guys are out, or is he cool like he like, man, I'm enjoying this?
It's both. So it does boost his ego because I mean he has me. So and whenever I go out and I look pretty, I'm looking the best. So I am an eye attention as soon as I walk in, an eye catcher. However, he does express to me, he's like, I'm feeling a little jealous, and but because he's feeling jealous, he doesn't act on that though. So he's the one who actually taught me how to release jealousy away from me, and that really helped me a lot. It really helped me see a lot of things that I was, currently looking at, how I was viewing things and experiencing that. As soon as I was able to just release that feeling of jealousy, I felt like I became better. I became more shined. So then I'm walking in and I'm not worrying about anyone but me, myself, and who I'm with, and that's with him. So he expresses his jealousy. However, he doesn't act on it. It is just a small feeling for him. However, it still does, boost his ego because he has me, and everyone in the room wants me too.
So has it ever gotten to a point? I'm going to ask a couple more questions, then we're going to wrap it up. With the guys you've dated, has it ever been a point where you went out with guys and then other guys approach you knowing that you're with the person you're with?
Yes, always. And I feel like it's a little bit weird because some will be like, "Hey, is that your girl?" And they would always ask that. And even when I'm like out with, like, say, my best friend, and my best friend is a guy friend, so he would be with me to protect me whenever I'm going out, and they'll be like, "Hey, is that your girl? Is that your girl?" And we're thinking like, yo, like you're real bold to ask that question. But they do that. So they do approach the people that I'm with just to get to me.
And they don't care if you're with someone, they still will
They still will.
approach you. Has there ever been a situation where it got awkward? Like you were like, man, he's doing too much.
Not that I could recall.
So it's never been like I feel uneasy because this person won't leave me alone. Like you've never experienced a person who's like stalking weird.
No, my only experience with that is people who would take their time to turn their car around just to talk to me. I think that that's personally weird. However, when it comes to everything else, those people who do hear that answer that they need, yeah, I'm with her. They would leave us alone, and that's just how it is. But those people driving in the cars, no, they would continue to go the opposite way they came from, and I think that that's like, yo, you were just going that way, but you did a U-verse to talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not interested. I'm just walking on the side of the sidewalk right now.
Mm-hmm. Outside of advantages of dating or friend, just jealous friends, like what are some other advantages you've received that you feel are because of how you look?
Other advantages I feel like I have because how I look.
Like maybe workplace advantages, like getting promotions, getting hired, um, free food, free clothing, or free anything because it's like, oh, she's pretty, so now here this is free,
Mhm.
or we're gonna hire her. She's so beautiful.
I think that where I'm at right now, it doesn't
Play
really
around.
require, yeah, any I don't think that they put me where I'm at because of how I look. It's really the type of person that I am and how I go about things, and how direct I am. That's what put me in my position that I am right now. I work for human resources at
Oh,
Amazon.
that's awesome. That is
Um,
awesome.
so I've been with them for about 3 years. I started from the bottom and I'm here now. And
Okay, Drake.
I didn't get here, because I was pretty. I got here because I'm such
You
a
work hard.
yeah. I work hard. My work ethic with them is where it's at. So they were looking for a type of person like myself. I randomly got promoted in the first place, just because I stopped complaining one day. I changed my demeanor on how I view work. I was like, I'm not going to complain anymore. I'm just going to come in on time and I'm going to work. And that's exactly what I did. And I ended up getting randomly promoted at that time. I don't think that anything that I do bump into, when it comes to work in general, has anything to do with pretty privilege. I do see downfall, though, when it comes to pretty privilege, though.
I was just going. That was gonna be my last question. What's the downside?
That is, there's a lot of women, of course, we spoke about that, but there's a lot of women that like to see women fall, just because they are pretty. And I can just give just a small example of when it comes to my previous job where I worked at Nike. Um, Around that time, no one could wear leggings, but that was the policy. But everyone that I was looking at was wearing leggings. So I was just a little bit confused. So I started walking in with leggings myself. I was always approached by some dude in Nike, and I didn't really care. I was only
But
there.
your reasoning was because they're so comfortable, right? Because
Right,
leggings are comfortable. So you
exactly.
throw
Also,
on.
they help you breathe as well. Like whenever you're wearing pants, it traps in your private area to not breathe that much, and that's one reason why I love leggings. And so when I was wearing it, um, I'm gonna have to. I don't want to discredit this lady and how she looks, but it's not that good. And she was my supervisor.
Uh-huh.
And so being my supervisor, and she looked at me and she's seeing all these guys talking to me. She's seeing how pretty I look like. She ended up telling me, you can't wear those leggings no more. But the girl who is always around her always wears leggings. And
Was she shaped like the other girl? Was she shaped?
she has no booty. She's a small girl. So her wearing leggings, I guess that's okay, right? But my supervisor,
So you feel it was discrimination
yeah,
based on how
for
you look?
sure. I'm like, okay, so I'm not going to wear those leggings anymore. And ever since then, what went down at Nike, it was just the downfall for me. So I definitely did have to leave because that supervisor was mad jealous. And that's where I just had to leave it at that. It just was not the job for me.
Wow. So there is the downside is not being able to maintain meaningful friendships, men not knowing whether, well, you said you kind of know how to decipher what they're wanting you for. So sometimes them just approaching you for your body, and also hate from people who feel like, oh, she looks better than me. So now I'm going to make her life harder because I don't like, now I put a target on your back. I don't like you because you're attractive.
Hmm.
Okay. Before we wrap things up, did you want to plug in your social media or
Yeah.
promote anything?
Yeah, so basically, I have a business called Candace Lux, and I currently have my little business card here, but it's going to be blurry. But it's a little. And with Candace Lux, I do makeup, but my new plans with this makeup is to actually start doing makeup tutorials. So
Mhm.
in the near future, I'll be creating a total of 20 tutorials, and there's going to be 10 each for each type of course that you're going to learn. So with these courses, one's going to be natural and soft glam, and the other one's going to be an entire full glam of 10 videos of that. So
Mhm.
with my natural and soft glam, I'm going to have a particular kit, and I already have the kits in hand. I would just need to go
Okay.
ahead and record the tutorials, and then that's going to be the very same for my full glams as well. So I have all kits on hand. So all you have to do is book to see, hey, I want to do the 10 tutorials. So you get all 10 tutorials for one price plus the kit that comes with it. And I have some outfits that I'm selling. I know I got a couple to the side with me, and they're on sale for $10. I also sell little pretty glitters, and probably going to be hard to see.
I'm scooting up like oh, that is
Yeah,
pretty.
I have all kinds of colors over here. I love glitter, and I did order some new things. I'm just looking to actually step into the job that I want to do with Candace. I want to be more than just, a makeup artist, and I know that I am. So I actually want to start getting into the creations and formulating my own very makeup instead of, I'm going to buy it from wholesale over here and then sell it back to people. I like to put heart into the things that I make, and
Mhm.
that's Candace Lux for you. And I'm excited because, tomorrow's my birthday,
Oh
and
no!
yeah.
Today is my birthday.
Oh my goodness, happy birthday.
Ah! I
That's
was like,
really,
hold
really
on there. You're in the cool. That's why I like you. Yes. And then you guys, when she does start things up, I gotta say with her, she's on point. She responds immediately. She's very professional. So when you guys do start ordering from her, you're gonna get that quality of service. So I'm just excited about the business that you have.
Thank you.
You're
Let
welcome.
me just input one more little thing here.
Okay.
If you want to see me in person, I will be at a show called the Fuffed Beauty Brunch Expo. It happens every year, and I participate every year. I love it. It has fashion models. It has makeup artists there, and I'll be a makeup artist there. They have all kinds of vendors. There's drinks, food, DJs. It's really like it's lit. So that's going to take place in April the 23rd. So they just look up Fuffed, which is FUTF Beauty Expo or Brunch Expo. They'll be able to find that on the Eventbrite. It is all
Okay.
really free as well, so it's free for everyone to come through. And if you don't, this event's going to be really great. I can't wait.
Okay. And I'm gonna get like once I end this, I'm gonna get a flyer from you so that I can share it on my page as well.
Okay.
Okay. Bye, you guys. Thank you for tuning in to Dear Shamika. Say bye.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome. Stick around.